Hey guys, what's up? It's Drew here back again, and today I'm reviewing Terminator Genisys, which is the fifth installment to the Terminator franchise. This is essentially a reboot, from what I'm gathering. If you've watched the trailers, it spoils, I'd say, a good portion of the movie, but the movie was great overall. I didn't really have a problem with it, and I've heard there's going to be two new installments to the Terminator franchise, which I'm okay with, I guess. I'm a Terminator fan, but I'm not like a huge, Terminator fan. I do like the movie. As I said, I think it's a great movie. There was just a few things, I guess, that were just confusing, and I kind of wanted answers to. There is a website that talks about the 6 biggest questions in the movie, and this isn't going to be a spoiler review. I'm just going to kind of touch on a few things and, give you a rating. So, essentially, the plot is, it's basically the regular timeline that, John Connor sends Kyle Reese back to 1984, where he's supposed to, guard Sarah, protect her from, the Terminator, Arnold, the original T-800. So, this one's different in the sense that there's an event where somebody sends back another T-800 model to 1973 to protect 9-year-old Sarah Connor. And what happens at that point is, I'm not going to explain, but there's an event that happens at that point that made somebody, they don't explain who, send back Arnold, which she calls him Pops, because he raised her pretty much, back in time to save her from a certain event. They don't want to spoil. It's not a big spoiler, but I just don't want to spoil it. So he tells her about all the upcoming events leading up to Terminator 1, where the T-800 comes out of the time portal, whatever, and they do reenact a lot of scenes from the first movie, which I thought was pretty cool. And he comes up to, which is like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, if not my favorite, where young Arnold comes over to Bill Paxton's group, which isn't Bill Paxton, but comes up to that group, and he's like, "Oh, I need your clothes." And Arnold comes by and says, "You won't be needing clothes." And they have a little fight scene, and the fight scene was really cool, and I feel like that. A little confusing was so like that part was like, okay, that makes sense. The T-1000 appears, and it's not the same T-1000, obviously, but it's an Asian T-1000 that's there for some reason. They didn't really explain a whole lot why it's there. I'm assuming it's some kind of backup plan for Skynet, like this is an alternative kind of universe or something like that. And there was just a backup plan to have a T-1000 there in case things went south. So they kind of just rewrite the whole history of Terminator. So the main stars are, Kyle Reese, and it's Sarah Connor, like the 20-some-year-old Sarah Connor, and it's Pops or Arnold, whatever, doesn't really matter. And they just, go try to stop Skynet. So I don't think I'm spoiling this because it's pretty much in the trailers. John Connor is a Terminator in this movie, at least for most of the movie. And I didn't really know what model number he was. I guess he's an infiltration unit that is just an upgrade from like Salvation, where they had was his name Marcus or something. So he's essentially just an infiltration unit, or becomes one. They explain it, but I don't really want to say it here because it's a spoiler. So he's the bad guy, and I like how they kind of reverse the roles. That Terminator. Well, I know Terminator's a good guy in, say, majority of the movies, but they kind of switch the roles in that sense. So the good guy is now the bad guy. So that was kind of cool. I did like the movie a lot, I'd say. I do like the changes they made. It's interesting to see where they're going to go with it. And they kind of have a thing at the end with Arnold that I thought was pretty cool, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not a huge spoiler. I'm gonna say it just because if you don't want to hear this part, I'm gonna put like a little thing on there that says when I'm just gonna skip it. So Arnold, after fighting John Connor, this facility explodes where Genisys was, which is Skynet. He gets an upgrade into this liquid metal pit, and he becomes I'm assuming he turns into a T-1000 model, or like kind of in between like a T-800 with T-1000 limbs or something. I'm just assuming he shed his shell, or he became a T-1000, or he built like the metal came around his T-800 skeleton. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. I was pretty hyped about that. So, but yeah, the movie overall is great, so you should go see it. So my rating for this movie is going to be a 8 out of 10. It's a great summer film. I think it's a nice kind of refreshing take on Terminator. For the 2 sequels, I personally don't mind them, but I'm sure people are gonna have problems with more Terminator movies, and you know, I personally don't mind it. I mean, with remakes, it's like, yeah, they're there, but I don't really care if there's remakes as long as, you know, hey, they're true to the source material, you know, and they don't change a whole lot. I don't know. Well, anyway, it's a good movie. Check it out. And it prompted me to watch the new, or the old Terminator movies, and the same thing with Jurassic World. I was going to do a review on Jurassic World. I didn't get it out in time. I might just post it later. I don't know. So if you guys want to watch that, that'll be up there hopefully soon. Maybe not. All right, guys, you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.